Man, what is up, everybody? It is your man EC1. We are live. Yes, we are. We are live. And by the way, AK, if you want to, stream it on your channel, you can. It is allowed. Um, I think it is. Last time I checked, you can stream on both channels. So just letting you know. But yeah, man. First of all, how you feeling? And yeah, man, how you feeling about this team? And how you feeling about in general? How you feeling right now?
Not too good, man. I know there's not too many of us out there. There's a lot that are still positive. There's a lot that still have a lot of hope, but
Mhm.
there's few of us out there who have kind of seen the light at the end of the tunnel already.
Mhm.
Uh, and you can call me negative. You can call me, not an Eagles fan. No, I'm a realist. And you a tiger doesn't change his stripes after 14 weeks, bro. You know. Um,
I don't think you're negative right now. I mean, this team is playing like crap. We got
no,
a
they are.
head coach who brings a sorry to cut you off a
No,
bunny into the locker room with grown men like we're running a daycare center. Okay, we got an incompetent, and I'm sorry what happened to his house. It's unfortunate. You got a bunch of idiots who do that, but he hasn't done a great job. There's an excuse what happened, but he's not a good offense coordinator. I'm trying to figure out why Frank Wright is not in the building to at least help Kevin Patullo. Like I'm not saying because listen, you're not going to fire Kevin Patullo in the middle of the season. It's not going to happen.
no.
But you need to bring someone to help them, and bringing a deflatable decoration bunny into the locker room does not help our football team whatsoever. It's childish, honestly. And then what makes it worse is we got two head coaches who every time they score, they're doing an arm celebration on the sidelines, like two frat boys, okay, butt buddies, okay, and that's just to me is immature because I look at guys like Mike Vrabel, and I keep saying it, they act like this. No, they
Mm-mm.
don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Nick Son doesn't deserve to have personality because I like personality guys. I like guys who are fired up. I like guys who, have an edge to themselves, are corny. I think he can be the corniest coach ever, but when you're struggling as an offense and you can't get the guys going and your running backs are struggling and your receivers are bitching on the sideline, both of them. It's not just AJ, it was Devontae too, saying that he was frustrated also. You know, it's a problem. It's a problem. You're wasting talent. You got the highest paid offense, and you're running a. Is this a high school football team? What is this? A preschool football team? Um, a junior, junior A football? I don't even know what it is. I don't know what to call this offense. Your defense is bailing you out. How many times are we going to see that? You know, and you need this offense click tomorrow because next tomorrow you don't have Jalen Carter. You're probably not going to have Jalen Phillips. I don't know if he practiced today. Um, you know what I'm saying? Good thing the news is we did cut Gibson, but we'll talk about that down the road. But no, it hasn't been good. And anybody who thinks this offense is going to magically fix itself with, Nick Sirianni being more involved, I don't know what to say. I hope it does. I'm the first one to say I hope that inflatable bunny changes the locker room, just like when Nick shaved his head. You know what I'm saying? I hope we can get to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be a
You
shame
know,
collapse again.
I take the inflatable bunny as a joke, and I'm going to be honest with you, man.
Okay.
Me, I scoff at that a lot. To me, that's desperation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're drawing straws, you're reaching for anything just to get any positivity. Um, Listen, man, we've been on this Nick experience now for a while. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's been about 6 years. And I can tell you right now, I have watched that man his very first year just do all right. It was
Mm-hmm.
a mediocre season. Yeah, Jalen didn't have AJ Brown yet, and we didn't have Saquon, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we didn't even have Swift yet. But it was an okay season. But you could tell things were a little off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and you bring in Steichen, you go and you get AJ, you go and you get Swift, and you go and get these weapons, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, you go and you get to a Super Bowl. Now, granted, you lose, but you get there and you had an identity. You actually looked positive, you know, and Then you turn around and you lose those guys. You promote Brian Johnson, and you bring in Desai because of a last minute thing, and that was the best thing that you had at the time. And you start out and everything looked good, 10-1, and then you completely collapse. And even during the season, everything was just mediocre. You could kind of tell things weren't all the way clicking, and things were bad. But they were good too. And then it completely collapsed. And you turn around, you bring in Kellen Moore, you bring in Vic. The following year, you get to a Super Bowl, you win it. And then Kellen Moore leaves, and now you promote your friend KP again, like you did Brian Johnson, and things are falling off the rail again.
Yeah.
That is literally doing the same thing over and over and over again. That is called being psychotic. That is crazy. That is the definition of being crazy. I am sitting here, and I know Nick is one of the most winningest coaches in football. I understand that. But I am tired of sitting here and acting like he deserves that win record. No, that wasn't him. His win record comes from his OCs. He doesn't call plays. How can I give credit to a head coach who doesn't call plays a win record? No. Our win record last year belongs to Kellen Moore because he was the one calling the plays, not Nick. He's a glorified cheerleader, dog. We are handcuffed to a glorified cheerleader, and he's scared to call plays. He won't even.
Well, he can't call plays. I mean,
he won't even take the play calling over this year and go down with his ship as a coach. At least Dan Campbell had the balls to take the play calling away from his OC and go down with his ship if it's going to go down. Our coach won't even do that. I've lost respect for this man. In my point of view, bro, let the dude crumble, let him fall, fire his ass at the end of the year. I know people are going to be against that, but you know what? We fired Doug Peterson, and he was way better, and he did way less. Worse than what Nick is. This will be his second time losing a locker room in 3 years.
Yeah.
Doug lost it once when we got rid of him after winning us our very first ever Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the shit show, dude. I'd rather have a coach in here that knows what the hell he's doing. And whenever things get rough, you're supposed to be able to turn to your head coach. He's the one that's supposed to have the answers. I have a head coach who doesn't have the answers. And right now times are tough. How are you supposed to get out of bad times whenever you don't know how to even do that as a head coach? And then secondly, you sit here and you tell me that you're implementing new play calls this week. Bro, that fucking scares me in general. Why did you wait till week 14 to implement new plays? You know what I'm saying? Dude, everything just speaks. Listen, I have been alive for 40 years. I have watched this team my whole life. I have seen a lot of fucking teams. I have seen good teams, I have seen bad teams, and I have seen dysfunctional teams. This is a dysfunctional team.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And us as Eagle fans, we might get mad about it. You might get mad that I'm sitting here saying it, but you get mad. No, I'm not even saying you. I'm saying there are fans out there, if they would see this. But here's the thing. You get mad because the reality is that is the truth, and you just don't want to see it because you want a glimpse of hope that they can turn it around. We only do have we got 3 losses, right? Or is it 4?
Yeah, we got the Broncos game that we were up, by the way. We lost.
Right. We got 3 losses. But still, we are probably the worst 8-3 team I've seen in a long time. It's like I've been saying. Remember in 2022 when the ball won Coach of the Year and they went to the playoffs and beat Minnesota, who was 12-4 at 9-7? Yeah, we are that 12-4 Minnesota team. We're fucking frauds.
And none of that is like, Nick Sirianni, let's be real, he's getting bailed out by our quarterback, or he's getting bailed out by our defense, man. And I can't blame it on just, and listen, we can there's so much blame around me. I just watched C.J. Gardner-Johnson ball out with the Chicago Bears. But I'm not going to blame Howard Roseman because Howard Roseman did everything he could to make sure this offense and his defense.
He holds this much blame to everyone else. I do put some blame on him.
I'm blaming the coaches.
Listen,
Uh-huh.
I will say this. I do believe that Howie made some moves this offseason that
Absolutely.
probably held us back a little bit.
Mhm.
As in like for instance, when he gave Saquon Barkley that $20 million extension. Maybe you should have taken that $20 million and put it towards the team, as in like Becton or CJ or some of these depth pieces that we really could have used right now.
Mhm.
And listen, Saquon was just happy to get a ring because he knew he was never getting one in New York. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He was just happy to be in a winning organization. He didn't need the $20 million extra. Hell, you already just paid the man 36 million. You
Yeah.
know, I get why we did it, but that was a move that probably now looking back, Howie's like, I wish I could probably take that one back a little bit. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're right, we didn't have a lot of cap room, so we had to be smart with some of our money. And I do blame Howie a little bit just because of we were already handcuffed salary cap wise,
Yeah.
and I believe he just got a little egocentric with it.
Well,
Like we've won
I
with
blame
less
Howie.
before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I blame Howie for. I'll tell you this one, and I love Howard Roseman. I used to be the biggest Howard Roseman hater, and AK would get on me like, "Bro,
Mhm.
you're crazy," because it ain't just Howie. You know, I blame Howie for leaving CJ Gordon Johnson again. Trading CJ Gordon Johnson. Now, I don't think Howard Roseman expected CJ Gordon Johnson to go back to someone like the Bears. I think he
Yeah.
expected the Houston Texans to take him and get them away from possibly competing against us, somehow. But it didn't work like that. The Houston Texans said, hey, we can't handle this guy. This guy's not good enough. We're going to go separate ways. And you see how dysfunctional they are. But, the thing that I don't understand with Howard Roseman was, okay, knowing that you have no safeties other than at the time you didn't have CJ Gordon Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you could have got a guy like the Justin Simmons. Now, I'm not saying Justin Simmons, but it's like it would have been something. You're relying on guys like Sidney Brown. I've been telling people this since the day we drafted him. Sidney
Well,
Brown,
Sydney's trash, dude.
he's trash. And I was frustrated when we drafted him because I looked at him. I watched some of him in college. Okay, he wasn't the greatest safety like everybody claims he was. He
Hmm.
can't tackle. He's not good at wrapping up. He's not good at covering at all, and he struggles with discipline. And that's something you need to have if you're playing the Vic Fangio defense or any general defense in the NFL. You need to have discipline. He's reckless.
Hmm.
Even on special teams, he's undisciplined. But my thing is that money that you could have had for Saquon Barkley, you could have got a guy like Isaiah Rodgers back. You didn't even want to go get him.
Yeah.
And then you go and trade a guy like Booker. What's his name? Booker, the defense tackle, and you trade a defense tackle for a guy like Mike. What's his name? Jaquan Bennett that you're not even playing. You know,
Yeah.
and then you sign a Adoree Jackson. There's some of the moves. It's like okay, I get it, but then there's some moves. It's like it's questionable. I think that Hal Roseman needs to go back this year and figure out okay, what did I do wrong, and also I think it's because you gave Nick power. Nick's around ever since he won a Super Bowl. Now he's hiring his own coaches, and we've seen it every time we hire a guy outside the building, we win a Super Bowl or we're in the Super Bowl. Shane Steichen was an outside guy. He never had play calling until Nick Sirianni gave it up. And before we were like, okay, why is this play call? I mean, the head coach has already know that he can't call plays, and yet we've not.
He
And
wouldn't even give it to Doug Peterson after he won a Super Bowl. That's kind of my point
yeah,
to this whole thing. You wouldn't even give Doug Peterson his power, and you got rid of him because you wanted to promote. He wanted to promote his own guy, and you guys saw differently, so you just decided to go separate ways. What
mm-hmm.
the fuck has Nick done that Doug couldn't do? That
What does
made
he
you
do?
feel confident enough to give this man control of that kind of shit, but you wouldn't give Doug. Because I know we all as Eagle fans can sit here and say Doug Peterson was by far better than Nick.
Oh, absolutely. Doug Pearson
All
would
around,
not let this
all
team
around.
collapse.
So I don't understand, and that's the thing. I
Can
wish
I
I
ask you
could have been
something,
a
AK? Not
fly
to cut
on the
you off.
wall in that
Mhm.
meeting whenever he brought KP into that meeting, because I would
Yeah.
love to know what KP said to Howie and them to make them believe that he could do it. Because I know Howie right now, and this is the one thing I will say that makes me at least comfortable. Even though I think that this season's going to go the way it goes and that it's
Mhm.
negative, Howie's really good at fixing his mistakes. And we
Absolutely.
all know this, you know. It took him a little bit there for a little while, you know, from 15 to 18 to get.
Well, I think
I
Jeff
think he
Lewis
was
more
locked in
involved
a
too.
closet too long. I really think he was locked in that closet too long when
Mhm.
Chip was here, you know. But he
Yeah.
got out of his funk and shit, and he really is very good at correcting mistakes.
Yeah.
And I know he knows the issues in that locker room. He knows things that we don't know. I mean, that man knows everything about this team. If
Yeah.
there is an issue, he will fix it. If a player is a problem, he will get them gone.
Mhm.
He is like that. We know this, you know.
Mhm.
He will fix the issues. But for right now, man, as far as this year's gone, I'm just kind of wiping my hands of it.
Mhm.
I know what I want. You know what you want. Yes,
Mhm.
we want to go back to back, but these players have not shown me that they want it. And until they can show me that they want it, I have no reason but to sit here and say our season's over, man.
Mhm.
You know,
And if that's the case, man, you got to get Nick up out of here. I'm sorry to say
well,
that.
of course, 100%. I agree.
I'm going after a guy like Joe Brady or Clint Kubiak, the guy that's looking like the merge as the head coach and candidate. Because like, and I said this about, and I told you, AK on your channel, I said it's not just AJ Brown. This thing, because now you've seen the quarterback get frustrated. And you've seen Devontae getting frustrated. You've seen Saquon getting. These guys are getting like. Explain me why did we trade a fourth round pick for Tank Bisbee if we're not even going to use him? Like, explain me why did we waste a pick on a guy that we're not even going to give carries to? Like, and I
Yeah.
think Tank Bisbee right now, when you look at it, Saquon Barkley, obviously, you're seeing sometimes where he's not hitting the holes right. You know what I'm saying? The holes are literally right there. But it's also, I think it's because Saquon's now realized, oh my God, I got to make something happen. And now you have Jalen Hurts who's not playing well. He's like, all right, if this offensive coordinator can't figure this out and this head coach is just not doing nothing, I'm just going to throw it out and hope that something happens. It's like Nick Sirianni, like, I want to read a stat to you because I saw this today and it made me mad because this is our offense. And, this right here made me mad today. Let me find it real quick. Stop texting me. I'm live, man. So I saw this today, and when I saw this, I thought I thought I was losing my mind. Hold on, let me find it. There it is. Interesting stat: the Eagles are 2-4. This is including John Clark this season. When they have a player with 100 receiving yards, the Eagles are 6-0 when they don't have a player get 100 receiving yards in a game. They need to be able to run the ball, okay?
Well, of
And
course.
Eagles offense, the highest hitch routes rate, the lowest cross route rate, bottom 5 in pre-snap motion, bottom 2 in play action fakes. AJ Brown lines up in the slot less than any other wide receiver in the NFL. Most predictable offense ever. The Eagles stats. We're running the same plays, and defense are picking up on it. And
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to change. Now Nick is more involved. Well, he's already been involved. He needs to be less involved. Either you have to get rid of Nick Sirianni if things don't go right, or you need to tell them, listen, we're going to bring this guy in. You do not any say in the play call next year or down the road in the
No,
future.
I'm not, dude. I'm not going to keep sitting here and doing this game. No, no.
I would bring it
Yeah,
off.
I'm not. Bro, I'm not. No, I'm sorry, man. I can't sit here any longer and not have a head coach who can't call
No, I
plays.
agree with you. I agree with you. I'm
I
telling
can't
you
do
what
it,
Jeff
dude.
Lewis is going to do.
It's you might as well sit here and ask me to bang my head against a brick wall over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to play this game. In all honesty, this is what I would do, man, and this is what I'm predicting. All right, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
we're losing to the Chargers tomorrow night, and I'm okay with it. My mind's on board with this because if I want what I want, and that's Nick gone.
So, can
And
I ask you a
listen,
question?
people
Who do
can
you
say
want as a head coach? Not to cut you off. Who would
I'm
you
going to
want?
tell you this right now, dude. You
Nick
know,
is
I've
probably
thought about it a lot over the last 2
Mhm.
weeks, just because where my mind is.
Okay.
I would actually hand the team over to Vic for the
Vic
next to Vic for the next few years. Because listen, he's going to retire here in the next few years. He's even said it himself. He would like to stay here until he retires. He lives here in Philly. Hand the team over to Vic for the next few years. Let Vic get his OCs in here. That way, your OC is you can't just say, oh, it's this guy. No, your OC is there. that's your OC. If your problem is offense, then at least you know it's your OC. You know, Vic has total control of the defense. Two, Vic is a leader of men. You can tell his defense respects him. He does not take bullshit, and he doesn't play favorites. If you play good, you will play. You know what I mean? And I like that about Vic. He's a straight shooter. And that would be my suggestion for right now. I've always wanted a defensive-minded head coach for a while too for this team, because we've had offensive-minded people for a while. So, you know, I would like to get back to that defensive mind head coach and just kind of, you know, let the OCs just be OCs. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I want an offensive mind. I want someone, because I think that right now your quarterback is officially regressed. You know, and we can talk about the stats numbers all, but he's not seeing the field. And if I'm the Eagles and Nick Sirianni, let's say you fire him, I want a guy who can come in, number one, bring his own different offense that he can run, where he's the guy that can call plays. Okay, because the thing about Vic Fangio is we've seen him as a head coach. It doesn't last usually good. Now, I'm not saying Vic Fangio is not a good candidate, because, listen, Vic Fangio has done a great job as a defense coordinator. But I need an offensive mind head coach. When I look at guys like Ben Johnson today, you know, even though they lost because the quarterback is let's be real, Caleb Williams isn't, you know, he's not as great as people think he is, okay? You put another quarterback in that offense, I'm sorry, you know, you put a guy like Jaden Daniels in that Bears offense or Jalen Hurts in that Bears offense, I guarantee they're scoring 50 points, okay? Hell, you give them Devontae and A.J. Brown in the Bears offense with Saquon Barkley, and they're going to the Super Bowl. Okay, that's just how good Ben Johnson is as a play caller. And when I look at this offense, when I look at A.J. Brown, when I look at Devontae Smith, when I look at Saquon Barkley, when I look at all the weapons that we have, and I say, what would a guy like Ben Johnson type mindset, offensive coordinator, head coach that could call plays, a guy like a Matt LaFleur. And I'm not saying Matt LaFleur is the greatest offensive mind, but I need a guy
who he's very smart. He's very smart.
And I want a guy, and I don't want to dub. I'm tired of the Andy Reid tree. I'm tired of the coach tree. I want to go after a McVay type offensive mind. Okay, a guy that is far away from what we have. Right, Jeffrey Lurie needs to say, you know what, I messed up by firing Doug Peterson.
All right, hold up. Hold up. Time out. All right, let's all right. I'm gonna shoot something at you, because me and Halftime were talking last week, and I said this ridiculously, but because you're going this route and I'm hearing the way you're talking, I'll throw something at you, and I know to Eagle fans this is gonna hit true to the heart, man. But you know, you want out of the ordinary, you want something different. That's what you said.
I think we need.
Well, then why don't you go out and get Michael Vick or Deshaun Jackson?
Because I don't think they're head
coaches. Because there ain't enough experience, right?
They're not experienced, no.
I know, but you want out of the ordinary and different. Now, here's the thing.
Kubiak.
Here's the thing. Doug Peterson played in the NFL. Yeah, he was only a backup, and then he did.
Well, I didn't want to fire him. Regardless, I didn't want to fire him.
Doug? No. But it has been proven, though, that most players who have played wind up being pretty decent coaches. You know, and there is a few that you can sit there and say haven't, you know. But
would you go after a guy like Lincoln Riley?
Huh?
Would you go after a guy like Lincoln Riley?
No, in fact, I'll give you a mind blower. Josh McGowan.
Who?
Josh McGowan.
McCown.
Remember Josh McCown? He was our backup in 2020. Yeah, he's working with the. I want to say the Texans right now.
You mean the guy that has a good offense right now? That looking good over there?
Yeah. No, Josh McGowan's the shit, dude. He's got a very good offensive mind. He's been on like 14 different teams, like Matt Fitzmagic has been, but he's definitely good, man. McGowan's good. I wouldn't mind giving him a shot at OC. You know.
By the way, Texans scored because they got good play caller. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's winning that game, by the way?
Right now it looks like there's no score right now. There's a flag on the play. It looks like Texans just scored, but
KC better not lose that game.
Yeah, they're 6-6.
They're done if they do.
But who's calling plays? Is it Andy Reid over there?
Mm-hmm.
I told people that Andy Reid, Kansas City fans, you're experiencing Eagle fans pain now, man. Some people
No,
like,
man, listen. No, that's not true, dude. I will say this: it's a lot of that is on their GM, man. They have not drafted well for Andy the last few years. Like, tell me, has any of their wide receivers or Pacheco's lasted 2 years, 3 years there, and now he's gone? Like,
no,
they've
they
had
don't have
shit
nobody.
luck.
They have
No, they
nobody.
really don't. Like
Their
he's
offense is bad
working.
too.
He's just working with
Mhm.
what he's got, which I'm impressed he's even doing what he's doing. But
If we fire Nick Sirianni, I would hire Kellen Moore to be, but Kellen Moore ain't coming back, so that's not an option.
yeah,
He's not getting fired. They're not going to fire it. They just hired him. You know what I'm
and
saying?
not just that, they knew exactly what he was getting into when
Hmm.
they hired him. They knew he wasn't winning nothing, so he ain't
Hmm.
going nowhere.
And Kevin Batula will be
Kellen
head
Moore
coach.
is not the
Will be
issue,
head coach.
in
Mhm.
yeah, he's not the issue over there.
And watch Kevin Batula will be a head coach. Someone's going to pick him up because why? Because they know Nick is running an offense. This ain't kept like people talk about fire Kevin Batula. Listen, as much as I want to say fire Kevin Batula, it's not fire Kevin Batula. You know, say Kevin Batula is not running. This is Nick's offense that he's running. The same with Kellen Moore. Last year, where we saw why does this offense look bad and out of order? Because Nick is running this. This is what Nick wants. You know, same with Brian Johnson. Anybody that comes in there has to run what Nick wants, and that's the problem. We need less of Nick, or we need to get rid of him. I personally would just fire him. If you collapse another year, you can't bring this guy back. I mean, at that
Listen,
point, you can't bring him
this
back.
is the way you guys got to look at it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Please sit here and tell me who, as a head coach, whether it's defense or offense, does not call their own plays other than Nick Sirianni. I'll wait. Tell me one other than him who doesn't do it. I'll wait because they all do it. He's the only one who doesn't.
Dan Campbell took over.
And then he sits there and he uses those people as scapegoats, and he's like, "No, it wasn't me because I wasn't doing nothing."
Goes for it way too
Like
much.
that.
Go.
That's not what I want as a head coach, man.
Mhm.
I want you to take control, accept it, But
So a guy like a Ben Johnson, mindset, and I bring it up to Clay Kubiak, who's been an offensive corner for many years. Looks like he's going to be a last offensive corner. I mean, look what he's doing in Seattle. They're scoring points. I mean, he's making Sam Darnold comfortable, and I think that's a head coach that I would like. You know what I'm saying? Or a Joe Brady. Look what he's doing with Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a guy that I would like to have. Because like a defensive of a head coach, I understand what you're saying, but I look at defensive head coaches and I look at a guy like Dan Quinn. Uh, I'm sorry, Dan Quinn's a defensive mind head coach, and he can't do nothing. And look what he's done. I mean, they've been from the MC Championship game to looking like a livestock. They're eliminated, by the way. The Commanders are officially eliminated from the playoffs again. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I want offensive mind because we need to go and get a guy that can call plays, man. I think that's our problems. I don't know about you, AK. Do you not see Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni not talking on the sidelines? Like, you remember they had that little handshake they had in 2021? Mm-hmm. Where's that at again? Where's that at? Like, we talk about AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts not talking to each other. It's like, no, I'm worried about the head coach and the quarterback not even talking to each other. Jalen Hurts sits right on the bench. Every time he makes a bad play or he doesn't do good or he makes a touchdown pass or he throws an incomplete, every time he's on the bench, no coaches go up to him other than Kevin Batula with the playbook. And we know that's a joke. So he's his little tablet, they go over it. But I don't see Nick going to Jalen Hurts and say, bro, what are you doing? I see Sean Payton go to Bo Nix, and every time he makes a bad throw, Sean Payton is in his ear. When Drake May doesn't do good, who's in his ear? Mike Vrabel. You need a head coach that can get on these players, man. And Jalen Hurts loves when criticism. He loves that. And I don't see Nick ever going to Jalen Hurts and say, bro, what are you throwing the ball at? Where do you see him? I don't see him scream at him. You know what I'm saying? And we saw that with Nick in 2021 where he was going to Jalen Hurts and screaming at him, where he was trying to get him, to understand what he was doing wrong. And I don't see that. I see Nick just sitting there with his arms crossed, yelling at the fans. Well, instead of yelling at your fans are yelling at you, number one, on Black Friday because you stink. You're not good. They deserve the boo at you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You should be yelling at Kevin Batula. You should be yelling at yourself for hiring a guy like that. Why would you hire someone who's your friend? If I in this is what I had a problem from the beginning because, like, I thought Kevin Batua, like I said, I thought Kevin Batua was going to be better than Kellen Moore. I said, this guy's going to come in. He knows these players. We were told he knew these players, right? He knew A.J. Brown. He knew Devontae Smith. And it turns out that was a lie. Just like Nick supposedly was an offensive mind genius. Remember, he was supposed to fix Carson Wentz when we hired him. I don't know how you're going to fix anybody. He can't even fix himself. You know, you have a quarterback that's struggling. Like Jalen Hurts is looking like a guy that's struggling. He's not seeing the field right. The play calling is horrible. And we know what he's good at when he is an offensive coordinator. We know Jalen Hurts is capable of winning the Super Bowl with an offensive coordinator or with a head coach who knows how to call plays. And because we've seen it. We've seen Shane Steichen. We've seen it with Kellen Moore, right? Kellen Moore knew how to get guys in the right position to succeed. You know, if something didn't work, he tried it a different way. And these coaches, they do the same things. You know, it just makes me mad. They force it to A.J. Brown or they try to force a deep ball to Devontae Smith. You know, last week they finally got A.J. Brown involved, but it's like, you know, you didn't get anybody else involved. Why is Jahan Dotson here? You're not getting him involved. So it's like, it makes me mad because everybody wants to point the finger at Jalen Hurts. And I keep hearing people talk about not to go on a tangent, but, bring Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee ain't going to help because Tanner McKee is only going to help for one game. You know, same with Gardner Minshew. Came in for one game versus the Jets and looked good. And everybody was saying, give it to Jalen Hurts. Gardner Minshew's the future. And then you saw more glimpse of Gardner Minshew and you saw he stinks. You know, and then he goes to Shane Steichen who makes him look good. You know, it just shows that the coaching is an issue. And I think that Nick Sirianni is starting to not understand, and it doesn't click for him that, bro, like, you talk about 2023, like, this is worse than 2023. This is worse. Our defense was horrible. You have elite defense, you know, and you can't score points, man. You won the worst offense in the NFL. Like, the Jets are scoring more points than you are. And they're eliminated from the playoffs, and yet they're scoring more points than you are. That's a problem, man. I don't know.
Yeah, no, listen,
I'm sorry for that.
I understand what you mean because whenever you sit here and you talk about KP, he's been here for 4 years. He's been here for Steichen, he's been here for Brian, and he was here for Kellen Moore. Okay, you're seriously sitting here telling me that you learned nothing in those 3 years? You didn't learn the success of two coordinators and the bad shit from Brian Johnson, and you didn't learn what to do and what not to do. And this is the stupid shit that we're getting. Yeah, and this is the stupid shit you come up with. Like, dude, that's what frustrates me. Because how the fuck you can sit here for 4 years and be a part of this team, be a part of this offense, be a QB coach, and then be, you know, the offensive personnel whatever thing. Like, dude, you learned nothing from any of these guys the whole entire time. That's just a disgrace. And then Nick, man. You know, this is the way I look at him. Like I said, glorified cheerleader. The one thing about Nick, though, that I will say is he always had a knack for being able to keep the outside noise out. He was always good about keeping the locker room coherent and collective in one unit. And guess what? Now you're proving you can't even do that anymore. So you don't call plays. You can't keep the outside noise out. And my locker room is a mess. Then you don't need to be here anymore. And I can find somebody else who can do that because this is bullshit at this point.
And I think the players are giving up on the coach. Right?
Oh, of course, man. Eventually you can do stupid shit so many times before everyone's like, I can't do this anymore. And that's what's going on.
And I apologize to anybody, but A.J. Brown was right all along. You know, we were bashing. Now, could he handle it a different way and not go on Twitch? Yeah. And I'm glad that he listened to his owner because, you know, if I was A.J. Brown, I would care less what the owner says, man. I'm going to say right now that coaching staff stinks. But I'm glad he kept it professional. And, you know, and you know what makes me mad? Why didn't Nick not go to his receiver and say, bro, you can't do that? Jeffrey Lurie an owner has to come in there and talk to your receiver? Yeah, man. Like, that's a problem.
Nick has no balls, man.
And he's supposed to. Because what we were told when we hired him in 2021? He was supposed to be a guy that was fiery, right? He was going to get on these players' behinds, right? Eliminate mistakes, you know?
Well, Oh, dude, he was
these
supposed to
players
be
out.
some offensive guru,
Yeah,
bro. He's not an even close
he was
to a
going to fix
fucking
AK
guru,
Carson Wentz.
dude. He's not even close to a fucking guru.
Yeah, we were lied to, man. And I'm hoping Jeffrey Lloyd doesn't go back to that because that's my fear is he's going to fire Nick Sirianni or Nick Sirianni gets fired. Let's say Nick doesn't give up play calling, or they're going to bring Nick Sirianni, but we're going to collapse and Nick Sirianni's going to come back as the head coach and they're going to go get an offensive mind outside the building, right? Someone like Kellen Moore again, 2.0, and we're going to go win another Super Bowl.
No, I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro. This
You
is
know?
what's gonna happen, and you've heard it here. And I'll talk. And
I
I'm
heard it
gonna
on
tell
Jay
you
say again.
right now.
I knew what you were about to say.
They are losing to the Chargers tomorrow night, and then we're going to lose to the Raiders, and Nick will be fired that Monday.
You don't think the bunny magic going to help?
No, that's a fucking joke. That is totally a joke. I don't know how any fan can see that fucking inflatable Easter bunny and feel like that is just going to fix everything. Did a magical rainbow go over the fucking locker room and sprinkle down fairy dust and make everyone fucking happy? I'm pretty sure not.
Bro, when I saw that, I'm like, what is this, daycare? Like, we
Right?
running a
No,
daycare
that is
center?
the dumbest fucking shit in the world. And to me, now you're making my team look like a circus, and it's pissing me off. That
Well, I
is
mean, it's already
fucking
been a
ridiculous.
circus, but now you add
You
that.
might as well have just hung a banner saying "We suck" on to 2027.
And it's the wrong holiday too. I could understand if it was a positivity Santa. We might laugh at it, but it's like, all right, I get it. But it's Easter, man. A decoration that you would have in your mom's backyard, as I would say.
Dude,
My
give
mom
me
would have that in
something
her
with a
backyard.
killer mentality, dude. Don't give me a fucking bunny. Who the fuck is scared of a goddamn bunny?
I mean,
Like,
Saquon didn't even
give
know
me,
what was
give me a
happening.
fucking tiger in the locker room.
Yeah.
Give me something that shows fear, that gives intimidation vibes. Not a fucking bunny.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, great. I mean, I hope it
It ain't
works.
working, dude. The only positivity it's bringing is KP and Nick Sirianni. That is the only positive that is bringing
Wait, that's
in that
positive.
fucking locker
Bringing
room.
them back.
Huh?
You just said what? Bringing them back or firing them both?
Who?
What did you say before?
Oh no, I said the only people getting positive from that bunny is KP and Nick
Oh yeah.
Sirianni.
Mhm.
That's the only people getting positivity from that
Yeah.
bunny. That's it. And those players
They
are
were
just
garbage, man.
those players are looking at that shit laughing, dude. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Dude, I've never seen that before. None of us have ever seen that before.
What did
It's
it go to Walgreens? Did they really go to CVS and say, you know what? Let's get
no,
something.
dude, that shit he pulled out of his basement. That's a fucking Easter decoration his wife blows up out front of the house, bro. He brought that shit in from home.
I hope it works, man. Like, I hope this, and I'm trying to be positive because, like, I don't want to sound like a negative fan, and I'm sure
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. That's cool.
No, and I get it because AK is one of the most positive Eagle fans. I mean, and when he says it, it's bad. Because AK is
Yeah.
always the one saying, "Hey, you got to look at the positive." I mean, we're not bad. Some things have to go. I mean, he doesn't usually get like that. So anybody don't know him, he's never been this negative. I'm usually the one that's negative. I'm the one that's always negative. He's telling me, "Hey, maybe you need to stop." What do you say? He said, "Shut up, you 13-year-old kid, and learn something." You know what I'm saying? Or say, hey, you're just being too negative. Like, you need to relax. I mean, the fact that you're saying that, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's what's happening. And I want to be positive because, like, we're 8-3.
Dude, I want to sit here and say everything's going to be fucking great too. I would love to sit here and say that. But there's nothing week in and week out when those players step on that field, bro. They don't even look like they want to fucking be there. They don't even look like they want to play. They don't even look like they give a fuck. So why should I fucking care? You know what I'm saying? Why? If they don't care, I don't care. It's just that simple.
And I think that also is part of your. By the way, Tyler Steen, man, you need to get another guy that can help our offense, man. He's not it, bro. He's not
Dude,
it.
Cam Jurgens has me questioning. I don't think Cam's as good as what we thought.
I said this in the comments on one of his press conferences. I said that this guy's injured, bro. You know how everybody was saying down below? You're a fake fan. How am I a fake fan? This guy can't stay healthy. Okay. what is the
Dickerson's
best
starting to
ability,
worry
right?
me too,
Availability,
bro.
right?
Dickerson and his injuries,
Mhm.
dude. Like I love Dickerson to
I do
death.
too.
But
I
bro,
think we
holy
rushed.
fuck, dude. Get your fucking knees in order,
Mhm.
dog. Like
And I think
it's
we
just
rush these
every
guys,
time.
man. I
It's
think we're
all the time.
rushing. Mhm. We're rushing them, and
Yeah.
I would sit them out. Like that's what I do. I would have sat them out, let them get healthy. I don't care if it took to the playoffs, man. At least they
Yeah.
would be 100%. Like same with Lane Johnson. Now you lost them, and I don't know when he's coming back. But you rushed these guys too soon. You know, we just found out Jalen Carter has two shoulder surgeries. And he just got a procedure. Why not sit these guys out, man? That goes back to coaching incompetence. It's coaching malpractice. We're rushing guys back. Like I think that AJ Brown is now getting healthy. You saw what AJ Brown is when he's healthy, 100%. I mean, look, he looked good against the Bears.
Yeah.
But it's like it makes me mad, because like our offense, uh, the most of the money is up front on our offense. Our receivers have the most money. Our running back is the most paid, and you can't even use these guys. I've seen guys with less in the NFL, offense coordinators, head coaches that can win with less,
Bro,
and
we want to sit here and we want to dog on Dallas losing to Detroit on Thursday night. But the fact is, bro, you can say how bad they were. Even their offense put up
I like
31
their
points.
offense, man. I do
Their
too.
offense put up 31 fucking points, dude.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want about Dallas, but guess what? When I watch Dallas, at least Dallas knows who the fuck they are. At
Yeah.
least they know their identity. At least they know what they want to do on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They're worse than us, and they can move the
Mm-hmm.
ball better than us. Dude, fucking look, the Titans today
Mm-hmm.
move the ball better than we have all season on offense. And the Titans literally
And they
just
fired their
won
head
their
coach too.
second game. Huh?
They fired their head coach. He got
Yeah,
fired.
and they just won their second game today. The Saints look better today than we have on offense, and the
Kellen
Saints
Moore.
are bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying, man. Like I get these other teams suck, but yet their offenses can move the ball better than our superstar studded offense that we have. This is coming off a Super Bowl victory, and no one finds that at all. Like, hey, we need to hit the panic button. Like I've done hit that panic button and let the freak show fly already, dude. Because I
If,
know what's coming. The train's already hit me, bro.
if you have the Chargers this week, right? Tomorrow night,
With
right?
it, yeah.
You got the Raiders, you got the Commanders, right? I believe, right? And you got the Bills. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're losing to the Chargers. Okay, I don't even give a fuck if Trey Lance is starting tomorrow night. Like I don't care, bro. Now granted, Phillips did practice full practice on Friday. That
Yeah.
is a plus. But still, dude, I got no back end.
Mhm.
Sidney Brown is trash.
He got
Um,
to get off my team, man. I wanted him to be shipped to his brother next year, man. Could we
no.
ship him to Cincinnati, please, so he can go play with his brother? Like
Well,
I've been seeing
I
this,
don't care where you put him, dude.
and I said
Seriously.
this to him on IG, and he saw my story too. I said, dude, the only time you show up is when you play against your brother, man.
Yeah.
In preseason. Like this guy is the JJ Arthega-Whiteside at safety, man. All he is the JJ Arthega-Whiteside, like a special teams guy. And it's
He's
like
another Avante Maddox.
Avante Maddox could play though. He just couldn't stay healthy. But he
Mm.
actually could play his position.
The first 2 years of his career, yeah. After that,
Sidney
he was
Brown can't play.
Avante wasn't what I trust me. I
I'd
don't
rather
think
have Avante
Avante was
Maddox over
that
Sidney
good.
Brown, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Well, no, I would definitely take Avante Maddox over Sydney. Don't get me wrong there, 100%. But Sydney to me, he wasn't much better than
yeah.
you know.
He said the positivity bunny is a joke. It won't fix it. No, I
It
mean,
won't.
dude, like you're bringing a blow up decoration into the locker room with grown men. That's something I expect at a daycare center. Okay, these are grown athletes. If they need positivity, then you lost your locker room because these guys get 100. Why do they? What is so negative about in that locker room? That I want to know, and this is why I'll hope Hard Knocks shows this because I want to see because I don't know if Hard Knocks is editing this shit out. But I want Hard Knocks to get to the bottom of this. I want to see what's inside our locker room so I can see what's going on because I guarantee there's dysfunction going on. You know what I'm saying?
there totally is, dude.
When you're literally having Jalen Hurts say, I don't know what did he say? He said that he can't speak on KP as an offense coordinator. And he got Saquon Barkley said, we're going to try new plays out. Like they're saying, like Jordan Mailata and Saquon Barkley saying, we got new plays installed. Well, first of all, why are you telling us that, number one? And number two, that tells me they're desperate. They're trying to get these fans amped up to be fired up. And listen to Nick, it's the same thing. He talks about together, detail, toughness. Together, and it's like, bro, you got pants last week by the Bears, man. The same Bears team that barely could beat the Packers today. Okay? You got absolutely pantsed. You couldn't stop the running game. These guys didn't look prepared. It wasn't just the offense that didn't look prepared. The defense couldn't prepare. But they were helping you keep you in the game by getting turnovers. You got Jalen Hunt making an interception. You were able to get 3 and outs. And you're putting this defense on the field because your offense can't score points. And I'm seeing these 2 frat boys again doing this all the time instead of actually calling a game plan. Instead of less celebrating, more of doing your job, we would be a lot better. But you want to bring a Bunny in. Hopefully he can call plays because he might be better than Kevin Batula. I don't know if the Bunny's supposed to call plays. I don't know. I mean, why not bring Frank Wright in to help Kevin Batula? Instead of the emotional bunny or whatever the positivity bunny that you got at the Home Depot or at the Goodwill, whatever you got, bring in Frank Wright. Frank Wright's available. Go get him and let him actually help Kevin Batula, right? Let him be the offense coordinator associating to help Kevin Batula's offense. And I'm sorry, but like to me, you need a guy that can help Kevin Batula because Kevin Batula don't know what he's doing. Did you see the Hard Knocks where he had just a PowerPoint of the Bears? We got to fix this. And these guys are looking like, bro, you're the problem. You're the problem, so is you. How are you going to tell us to fix it? We're players, and we're running your stupid offense. But you're telling us to fix it. And I do think part of it is also players. Players are also not doing their job. I get that. But it starts with the coaching. These guys are supposed to be...
man. First and foremost, you're not wrong. It takes a unit to collectively suck. No, it's fine. It takes a unit to collectively suck. Okay, first and foremost, you can't just sit here and point fingers at one person because that isn't right. It isn't just one. But I will say this, to have a successful offense, not only does your offensive coordinator have to call plays with conviction and believe what he's doing, but your players have to buy into what you're doing, and they have to believe in what you're doing. And that's the thing. One, KP shows no conviction, and he shows no competence in calling plays whatsoever, and no belief in what he's doing. And you can clearly see these players believe nothing that he's doing. And when that's happening, dude, guess what? Your offense isn't changing. Just because they install a few new run plays into this offense is not going to make these guys believe anything more than what they believed last week. The only thing it's going to do is, oh, great, just some more plays that we can just, run and not get anywhere. It's never going to change because you have the same people still running it. As long as the same people are still running it, guess what?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but yesterday, like, not to cut you off, but last week, when I saw this, I know there's no problem with AJ and Jalen Hurts. Because when I saw, hold on.
I can't see it.
That's my cover. Because I get so frustrated when people say AJ and Jalen Hurts hate each other. They don't hate each other. They hate the coach staff. When they're literally going like this to each other after scoring a touchdown because they don't care about winning at this point. They know that the offense coordinator and head coach are issues. And I keep saying, man, before I was on the verge of where you were going with like AJ Brown might not let, there's something going around. But now I'm seeing that he's not a problem. And I know before we had issues like AJ Brown, maybe he's holding, but now it's like, dude, like, I think they just don't like these coaching. AJ Brown is not a dummy. He's smart. He knows that this offense coordinator and this head coach is a joke. They've been through the 2023 season. They've been through the 2024 season. They know what an offense coordinator knows and how to call game plan and what they're supposed to look like. Okay, this is not an offense coordinator knows how to call plays. This is a guy that you hired as your buddy that you went to the bar and grabbed the beer with and say, you know what? Hey, you want to be my offense coordinator? Yeah, sure. And they're supposed to sing Kumbaya together. Screwing up a team. Nick hired his buddy friend or a guy or maybe he sleeps with him. I don't know. Because he doesn't. They're just two goofballs that think alike, and that's the problem. Kevin Matulo thinks like Nick. Nick and Kevin Matulo are the same exact person. Okay, same exact person. When you listen to press conferences, they remind me of the same person. It's just one is the head coach, the other one's offensive coordinator, but there's no different personalities at all, and that's a problem. When you think alike, you're going to call the same offense, and that's just it. It makes me mad that Jeffrey Lurie and Howard Roseman allow Nick to hire his own coaches. Why? Because he won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? We should have learned from Doug Peterson, and this also shows you that any coach comes in here, whether it's offensive mind head coach, if they can't call their own plays, guess who's going to be picking the coaches from now on? Ain't going to be the coaches anymore. It's going to be Jeff Lurie and Howard Roseman, because I think Nick has lost all the trust in the owner, by the way. But it shouldn't come down to this, man. I should be able to trust my head coach in calling a game plan, or I should be able to trust my head coach to get an offense coordinator that knows how to use these guys.
I 100% agree, man.
And we were lied to this offseason. We were told that KP knew this offense, that he knew these players, that he was going to get the best. Weren't we told that? That KP and these guys vouch for them, for KP, and he's turned out to be nothing but a disaster. And I don't blame A.J. Brown for being upset, because if I was vouching you to get a job and you turn around and backstab me, I'd be mad too. Jalen Hurts never said he wanted KP as his offense coordinator. He never said that. He said, I don't know what he is, or what did he say? He didn't know what he was or something like that. And just it should have never came down to this, man. We should have went outside the building to get an offensive mind guy, or we should have hired a guy that knew what he was doing. And we hired the same thing, and I keep hearing Nick saying he learned from 2023. Did you really? Did you really? Because I don't think you did. I don't think you learned a damn thing, because nothing's changed. And I'm hoping this game tomorrow night, it's either you win or you're pretty much done. If you don't win this game, you got to get someone up out of here tomorrow. Probably not Nick, but you got to get either Frank Reich in the next day, or you got to fire KP, and you got to hope that someone can change this. You got to let Nick call the plays, and they need to evaluate him to see if he's the head coach. Same that they did with Mike McDaniels in Miami, where they were evaluating him to see if he was the right guy. Because I don't know what else you do. If you don't win, you got to change something, or you got to start getting guys up out of here, man. And I don't want to go get a new head coach, because here's my thing about new head coaches. Number one, what if they say, you know what, I don't like A.J. Brown. I don't like Devontae Smith. They don't fit my offense.
They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say that.
But you've seen coaches do this where they might not think that quarterback they can work with, or that receiving core they like. We've seen coaches come in and they change the culture immediately, or they get rid of guys that they don't rock with.
I would not be surprised if they fire Nick, and this is only because of the last time. I would not be surprised, and only because you just said his name a moment ago, it just triggered me. I wouldn't be amazed if they went after Josh McDaniels. Yeah.
Go ahead, keep going. My fault.
No, that's all I was saying. I wouldn't be surprised if they went after Josh McDaniels, because they about hired him right before Nick last time. You know what I mean? So
you need to bring an offensive mind that can help Jalen Hurts. Right now, Jalen Hurts is broken. He's getting frustrated on the side.
Josh McDaniels has the Patriots 14-2, and he's got Drake May looking like an MVP. So
Josh McDaniels ain't a good head coach. We haven't seen that before.
We didn't.
Josh McDaniels, not Josh. Yeah, Josh McDaniels has been on the Raiders, hasn't he not? And the Broncos. He's been fired for both of them.
Dude, I'm not. Listen, man. I'm not gonna judge anyone from the fucking Raiders. Okay, I'm not gonna judge anyone from the Browns. I'm not gonna judge anyone from some of these teams. They're just some of these teams you just can't turn around. Is Robert Saleh a bad head coach? Probably not. He just was the head coach for the
Good defensive mind.
You know what I mean? He's a great defensive mind. No, he had a shitty organization with a shitty GM who gave him a shitty team. You know what I mean? So it's. I won't judge him on that, but I can tell you from this year, dude, he's got Drake May playing the best football of his life.
And you want to know why? Because he has a head coach.
Yeah, but that is Josh McDaniels calling the plays, though. He is calling the plays. But that's why I'm saying I would not be amazed if they did fire Nick if Josh McDaniels is not sitting having an interview, considering how close they were doing it the first time right before they hired Nick. And now that I know what I know, well, yeah.
No, he needs to just be an offense corner, man. I do. That's like bringing Chip Kelly back as a head coach, man. No. And he wasn't good at offense corner too, by the way. I want Clint Kubiak. That's the guy. I want the guy from Seattle. He's from the Gary Kubiak tree. He's learned under Kyle Shanahan. He's been the Vikings offense corner under I think what's his name. Who's the head coach for the Vikings right now?
Shit.
I mean, if he becomes available, I'll go get him. I don't know if they're going to fire him, but
no. In all honesty, man, if we're talking Vikings, I wouldn't mind having their defensive coordinator. He's really good.
Brian Flores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very underestimated, dude. He's a very good head coach. He got done dirty in Miami, dude. He got done dirty.
I feel bad for Jalen Phillips, man, because if we told him, hey, by the way, you're coming in here and you're not going to win a Super Bowl, you're going to see another collapse season, and we're probably not going to sign you back next year, because that's what we're going to do. And by the way, you're going to have to carry us to potential Super Bowl because, our offense coordinator and our head coach want to play buddies on the sideline and do us, our arm celebration sideline, whatever the stupid celebration they do on the sideline, like a bunch of frat boys they are, But no, I mean, to me, it's like when I look at Jalen Hurts, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Like Jalen Hurts has regressed. We can all agree that. He's not played his best football. The last two games, especially last week, he was missing guys wide open. There's a lot of times where guys are there and he's not seeing them. And I think he's doing it on purpose. And I said this to halftime because halftime was telling me, "Oh, I don't think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, and we need to go." I'm like, bro, it's not just the quarterback, man. Like the receivers are not running routes right. They're stopping at routes, man. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Smith wasn't even running his routes right. He was slowing down if you watched him. They're giving up on his coach staff. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think this coaching staff is not getting to these players. And, now you bring, like, the fact that, again, we go back to the emotional bunny, stupid declaration that you bring in the backyard. You don't bring that in unless things are getting that bad. Because why do you need positivity in the locker room? You know what I'm saying? If the offense is supposedly on the same page or they're actually having fun. That tells me that the offense or the players are starting to shed away from the coaches and what they wanted. And the players are not buying into what they're believing. Because if you need decorations to light up the mood, that means that the workplace is toxic. That there's something behind the scenes that we know, but they won't tell us. Because they know if they say, hey, by the way, our players are not listening to us, they're not going to say that, but we know the problem is. We've seen it on the sidelines. Saquon Barkley said today, that he has to pull these guys to the sidelines because they're getting so upset because they're working on things in practice, but they're not doing it on the field, and they're getting frustrated. Like he has to pull guys to the sidelines. Players. It should be the coaching pulling these guys to the sidelines, but we got a running back who, went from the Giants to the Eagles and understands, hey, I got to be the leader now because my quarterback is now disgruntled because he's given up, and my two receivers are already frustrated, and I got to be the one to lead them because my coach is a doofus and I got a buddy Nick Sirianni Jr. as KP, or I should call him Kevin Stench Tulo, as I call him, Kevin the Clown Stench Tulo. Okay, maybe he should wear the bunny outfit. Maybe he'll actually call better plays tomorrow with a bunny outfit on him, since he want to. I guarantee that was him who brought the bunny outfit in, since the egg thing and all that stuff. But the running back shouldn't be telling our players, hey, the players should already be galvanized, and that should be the coaching job to get these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, the coaching should be getting these players in order and helping them through the tough time. And I don't see Nick do nothing. My thing is, what does Nick do? What does he do? And everybody says, well, he's a winning record. He has a winning record because he is an elite quarterback. He has a winning record because he has talent around him. You take the talent away from him and see how good he is. Does he take a team like the Browns, or not the Browns? For example, is he going to be good if he went somewhere like Minnesota? No, he wouldn't be. He'd be fired. Would he do something like what Ben Johnson's doing with the Bears?
No.
You know what I'm saying? He's getting, some ways, he's getting bailed out by his coach staff. He's getting blessed by his talent. And he's treating it like he's done something good when he's done nothing. And it makes me upset because I go back and watch Nick's last year. You remember in the Super Bowl, what did he say? Kellen, let's run it back. And now it's really stinging me because, he knew that he couldn't find an offense coordinator again like Kellen Moore. And I wish the Eagles would pay Kellen Moore and keep Nick, but pay him as an offense coordinator to keep him.
Since we're on Jalen Hurts here,
go ahead.
I'm going to tell you this.
Come on.
All right. Mm-hmm. And I love the kid, dude. I think he's got all the potential in the world. And he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He is an MVP. But I will be blunt with you, and you know that I am that way. Mm-hmm. But there is a reason why Jalen Hurts was a second overall pick. Okay? Or a second round pick, 54 overall. There is a reason for that. I'm not going to sit here and say the kid's bad because he damn sure isn't. Mm-mm. But I will say there is limitations to Jalen Hurts' game. Now, the one thing I will say that has came positive from KP being our offensive coordinator this year is because of how bad KP has been, he's only validated those limitations that I felt Jalen had. Mm-hmm. Because I'm starting to see them through the play calling because of how bad it is. I'm starting to see those limitations in his game. That's not saying that the kid is bad. When me and you were talking here, that's not every quarterback for the most part has a limitation. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. But I will say this.
Go ahead. Let's cut you off.
His arm has really gotten pretty shitty this year. When it comes to deep balls like last year and in the few years past, he's been pretty damn decent with his deep balls. This year they have been short. They have been off point. They have been just everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Some of that is play calling. Some of that is, has a lot to do with KP. Some of that has to do with him as well, But I will say that when it comes to the mindset, when it comes to having that switch in the playoffs that most quarterbacks don't have, he has it. Yeah. Now, I will say this. I know as an Eagle fan, you sit here sometimes and you get frustrated when he only has a 150-yard game and one touchdown and we win. When you have 8 or 9 of those in one season. No, I'm just saying as a fan in general, we like our quarterbacks to at least, like for instance, did you see the Cincinnati Bengals-Bills game today?
Yeah, I watched Joe Burrow throw 2 picks.
Yeah, but did you see Josh Allen?
Yeah.
No, Josh Allen is exactly what the new age quarterback is and should be. I understand a lot of people give Pat Mahomes his praises, but bro, Josh Allen as a physical specimen quarterback playing the position is better than Pat Mahomes.
But But
When,
I'll tell you why
I'm not
he's
talking wins. I'm talking pure physical talent when it comes to that position.
Mhm.
Josh Allen by far is the best quarterback in the NFL when it
Well, I
comes
also
to
think
all
that Joe
checking them
Brady,
all.
yeah, I mean, I also think Joe Brady is a genius. I mean, he is
No,
one.
he's a brilliant genius, and
Yeah,
that's another name you should
Mhm.
consider for head coach if Nick gets fired.
Yeah,
Joe Brady,
I say
uh,
this. Yeah,
yeah, he would not be bad either. You know,
see, if
I
I
know
was
he
the
had a
Buffalo
pretty
Bills,
bad stint there in Carolina, but hey,
Mhm.
it is what it is.
Mhm.
All I'm saying, man, is that
Mhm.
I know that he has limitations,
Yeah,
and in prior past, we have had good offensive coordinators who can hide those limitations of Jalen and
that's
make
all
him look
quarterbacks.
make
That's
him
all
look
quarterbacks.
more all around quarterback, right?
Mhm.
This year we don't have that as much, and that's what I'm saying. So hopefully this year Jalen can look back at this year, see what KPD did, see the limitations that we're all seeing, and grow from them, and even get better moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I'm not going to sit here and praise the kid this year for what he's done. I'm not going to praise anyone on offense. Actually, the only person that I'm going to praise is Dallas fucking Goddard, the guy you tried to get rid of at the beginning of the year.
who,
He's the
me?
only consistent. No, Howie, you know, in our team,
Oh yeah,
everyone
how
wanted to get rid of even fans, dude. Even some of the fans wanted to get rid of him.
he's the
You
most
know,
clutch tight end I've ever seen,
dude,
man.
he is the only thing
Yeah,
consistent on our offense this year when it comes to
he's the only tight
catches,
end
when
we
it comes
have.
to touchdown.
Randy
He is.
Alexander.
So Dallas is the only bright spot in our
Mhm.
entire offense,
Yeah,
and I just have to shout that out because that props to him. But when it comes to Jalen and everyone else, man,
Mhm.
it's fucking pitiful, and I wish they'd get their heads out their ass. And I caught a lot of flack for saying this, man, but I will say this too.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley is really giving me DeMarco Murray vibes after we got him from Dallas after his fucking 300 plus yards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm really getting that DeMarco Murray vibe from him. And I'm not saying he's given up. It's just, dude, I think we used him so much last year. He's just not 100%. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
know, man. When I watching the Bears game, right? For example, when I see some of the all 22 coming out. I mean, he still
Yeah.
looks explosive. I mean,
Huh?
I think what's happening is number one. I mean, let's be real. Your offense isn't the same. Okay,
Oh
and
no, it's not.
I think that also another thing is we're running them one way, man. We don't run him like Kevin
Oh
Batullo and Nick Sirianni runs him really one way. Okay,
yeah.
instead of running him, how about we get him outside? Like, do you remember when the Broncos game when we threw the ball to him outside the what was it outside? It was a wheel route that Jalen Hurts threw the ball to Saquon Barkley for a touchdown. Why don't we
Hmm.
do that more? See, if I was the offensive corner and I see that, I would use him and Tank Bisbee outside the running game, right? Confuse the defenses, right? Make him a weapon, because he can do that. Okay, he might not be great at running the ball, with the offense line, but use that to your advantage, right?
Hmm.
Instead of running him straight into the wall every single time, okay. And I think Saquon is starting to say, "Hey, bro, I got to make something happen. This offense ain't blocking. I don't. He's not seeing the holes either, and I think that's part of it too. And I agree to
Yeah.
some point. I think that his legs are tired. When you're running for 2,000, almost 2,000 yards last year. Well, no, you were 2,000. Wasn't he 2,000 yards last year? He was 2,000 yards, right? Last year,
Oh yeah,
he was
yeah. No, he had 2,000 yards last year. Yeah.
2,000 yards, right?
Listen, and when I said that, I'm not saying the kid's bad.
No, no, I'm not saying that either.
I'm just saying when you put that amount of rushes on
It's
legs
on
in
wear
one
and tear, yeah.
season, when
Mhm.
you put that amount of yards on someone's legs in one season, the next season they're probably gonna be a little hurt, especially this time of year, bro. Because listen, our legs, yeah, listen, he's got some beefy fucking legs, dude. But imagine how many miles he's ran this year so far since the Super Bowl ended till now, and even last season, over this whole year, Bros ran a lot of fucking yards, dog,
So why not
and
use
still
this?
running a lot, huh?
And that's my thing is I think they need to use Tank Bisbee more, but
Oh,
they're not.
definitely, dude. That's what you got him for. Use him a little
Apparently, they
bit.
got him for decoration, just like the bunny in the building. Just to use
And,
him for
and
decoration.
listen, the other thing about the offensive line, and you got to realize this too. I have never seen a Steichen, or not a Steichen, a stout O
Stoutland,
line
Stoutland,
bad.
yeah, he's been bad. Mhm.
I've never seen a stout O-line bad in the 20 years that he's been here. Okay. For the first time ever, they're bad. I will say this. Stout is our run game coordinator.
Absolutely.
Okay. Our run game coordinator and ROC have to coordinate together and they have to be on the same page. What
Yeah.
I feel that is going on there in the run game is you literally have Stout, who's been here for 20 years, knows how to run the ball and has his guys set up to run a certain way. And you have KP that wants to do something a different way. And you don't have two guys coming together. And you know what I'm saying? So you have
Yeah.
one guy wanting
Yeah.
to do one thing, another guy wanting to do another, and no one's winning here.
Mhm.
So they're just and like you said, now they're just running lame shit because they're like, well, if you don't want to do it this way and I don't want to do it this way, then we'll compromise and just do this. And it's
Yeah.
it's just not
You
good
got
business, bro.
dysfunction.
And
Yeah.
that's why I said this year to me we're fucked, plain and simple. Because if our coaches can't even agree,
You got to get them up
we're
out of
done.
here.
We're
Yeah.
done. We're done.
And like I said, when I just watched the Bills today, right? Let's be real. I mean, Josh Allen, a lot of times he's not really throwing it 40 or 50 times. It's not that they're actually making him, more of what his style is. And that credit to Joe Brady. If I was the Bills,
Yeah.
honestly, I'd fire Sean McDermott and just make Joe Brady the head coach. Because I think Joe Brady is the mastermind behind Josh Allen's success. But Joe Brady, I saw him make the adjustments, because they were struggling versus the Bengals. They
Oh, the
were
Bengals had them, dude. They had them.
they had him,
They
but
had
he
them.
was
Oh
able
yeah.
to make the adjustments,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't do that.
And,
We don't
give
do that. That's
give
enough.
credit to Josh Allen, dude. He played one hell of
He's
a
a great
fourth quarter,
quarterback.
bro.
He's a great
He played
quarterback.
one hell of a fourth quarter.
But it makes me mad because I look at this offensive coordinating today, and I'm watching another game with Houston Texans and Chiefs, and I'm watching design routes, and then I watch this team tomorrow night, and I'm going to be like, what are we running? Like when we ran, I think it was versus the Bears, we ran a draw to Saquon Barkley on third down. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like Nick Sani or Kevin Batulo wanted to punt the ball when you needed to go for it. We did this twice. There's certain things like I could say, okay, maybe the players have to be better executing. And there's plays where receivers are dropping footballs, or quarterbacks not making reads right. But it's like, if you know that, number one, why don't you talk to the players? Because that's what the head coach is supposed to do, is to get on these players behind, right? If Jalen Hurts makes a bad throw, what do you usually do? You go to Jalen Hurts and say, what did you see here? Why are you throwing the ball there? You gotta say, are you not seeing what I'm seeing? Like, why are you throwing the ball there? Where are you throwing the ball? Or have him explain to you, or talk to him. I don't see that. And I see Jalen Hurts, all he does is go on the bench, puts his head down, and the next play happens. Or the offense coordinator with his little tablet, which we know there's nothing but probably Angry Birds on that damn tablet because there's no play calling actually for real. Him sitting on the sideline with Jalen Hurts, or the receiver coach. The receiver coach is on the sideline on the bench with Jalen Hurts, going over the game view or the game tape on the tablet. But it should be the head coach. The head coach should be going to him and saying, what did you see on this play so I can fix what I'm doing? Or we need to find a way to make our quarterback, comfortable, because it looks like he's uncomfortable, and I think that part of it is the offense. The offense not blocking. Jordan Mailata was one of his worst years I've ever seen him have, one of the worst years. I mean, he's been bad, but it's like, if you know your quarterback is struggling, then make the adjustment to help him out. You don't let him die on the side of the road and make him roadkill. You help him out. And I feel like our coaches are saying, well, he's not doing what I'm doing, so we're just going to continue to run the same offense. It's like, do we even run RPOs? We ran it, I believe.
Stop putting Calcaterra in the block defensive ends. All he does is get put on his ass, dude. He's terrible. It just all I'm saying, and listen, we're on the same page with this team, dude. I'm right there with you. I'm in all honesty, bro, I'm just tired of it all. I'm tired of I'm tired of Nick. I'm tired of watching his long drawn out air-winded press conferences and 5-minute explanations. I'm tired of just everything, man. Like I want a coach that will bring me stability and bring me comfort in something that they're doing, and it's not him. It's never been him to begin with, and I'm tired of people saying it has been. When we all know, like I said earlier, it has been Steichen, and it was Moore who made him successful those 2 years. Yes, he is the head coach, and he gets the credit for the wins and losses, but they're not his wins and losses because he wasn't doing the play calling.
Yeah. I keep saying, what does Nick do? What does he do?
Nothing now.
What did he do before?
Just
What
keep
was he
the
supposed to
outside
do? What
noise
was the
out of
play?
the locker room. He kept them together. He kept them a collective unit, and now they're broken apart. Everyone knows what's going on in the locker room. He's not doing that job anymore. That was his only job, just to keep everything in order and keep the outside noise out. That was
Yeah.
his job,
And
to be the rah guy, and he's not that. He's not
I want
that.
to
He
I want
lost.
to bring a little positivity here, right? Let's say we do win. Does that make you feel better, or do you think in order to be more positive,
Listen, I have been saying it, bro. It's not about winning. It's how you win.
it's how
If
you
you
win?
come out here and you kick them in their fucking teeth and you win 47-7, we'll talk next week. But if you come out here and you win 13-10 and you barely just scrape by, my mindset's still the fucking same.
And
But
they run
even
the
if you
ball.
win 47-7, you better come out next week and you better fucking scrape the Raiders too. And then
Yeah.
you better come out the week after and you better beat a fucking mud hole in Washington. You lose to the Bills, then I might let that one slide. Maybe. It all depends on how you lose to the Bills. If you come out and put 31 up and they score 38 and we lose, I'll be all right. But you come out and you lose fucking 7-38, well, I'm pissed. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not about winning or losing. It's how you look when you do it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're barely beating the Lions, when you're supposed to be blowing them out, when you're barely beating the Packers, and you have talent to blow them out, that's an
Yeah.
issue. And I've been telling a lot of Eagle fans, even the ones on IG. There's a guy on IG. I don't know if you know him. His name is West Coast Eagles, and I was talking to him, and he wanted to get on my kids because he wanted to say, "Oh, a win's a win. Y'all need to stop being a bunch of weeds."
He's right. A win is a win.
And
But
I
you
got it.
also have to make it look confident. You also have to make it
Well,
look
it,
like
you know,
you
his
know what the
logic,
fuck you're
a lot of
doing.
Eagle fans was
Yeah.
a win is a win. Shut up and stop being ungrateful. And my logic is, yeah, we're winning, but we're winning because our defense is bailing us out. We're not winning because the coaching's put us in the best positions. And
Yeah.
he wanted to tell me, oh, you're young, you don't get it. I'm like, bro, like, did you not watch the 2023 season? Like, I don't care if I'm young. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of Eagle fans in 2023 that were telling me the same thing. They're the same ones telling me now. A win is a win. And I'm sure we win tomorrow, barely win by tomorrow. It's going to be, oh, we're back. The bunny is helping us. And it's like, it's not consistent, because the Chargers, to me, you should be killing that team tomorrow. I mean, they got
Bro,
injured
let me tell you a little story real quick.
and they like,
You know I went to Lambeau.
did you?
Oh yeah, I went to the
Baffert.
Packer game. I went.
My
I
guy
will tell you
Daggett, by
what,
the way,
man.
shout out you in the comments, man. He said it don't matter who carrying the O line is horrendous this year. Oh, absolutely, the offensive line is bad too, and they deserve to share their pie. I
Yeah.
can't just blame it all on KP. KP it's not KP. People want to blame KP. They want to fire KP. Okay, you fire KP. Who's your offense coordinator? Who's your offense coordinator? You going to hire someone within again, or you going to make Nick the play caller? Like, people don't want to say Nick is the play caller for most of the time. That's why you're seeing two different offenses being ran. Have you noticed there's always creativity in the first half and then there's trash in the third and fourth quarter? Who do you think is calling these plays? You see creativity at one point. Don't you see that a lot, AK? Where we see creativity sometimes in these offense and then we see two different offenses being ran. It's like they do great in the first half. They show they can run the football. They show they can throw the football. And then they go back to being stupid.
Well,
And I
no,
think,
dude. In all honesty, I think they just blow their nut just so early, and then they have nothing left for the rest of the game.
yeah.
I think they use all their creative shit, and that's how small of creative minds they have. Is they only have enough to get you 21 points, and then they're just like, "All right, I got nothing left."
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you the story. So I went to the Green Bay game, right?
Go ahead.
We're sitting there the whole time, and remember at the very end of the game, whenever we were winning, and it was on the 50-yard line with a minute left, and Nick decides to go for it on fourth down.
Mhm.
Every Eagle fan that was around me everywhere just started looking at one another. Like,
Mhm.
what the fuck are we doing? Ball's on the 50-yard line. There is a minute left. They're at home.
Mhm.
And I get you want to keep the ball in your favor, but I would have rather have punted the ball there, pinned them down at the 5-yard line and made them run the whole field. But instead you almost lost that game because you got balls inside of you and you went for it on fourth down, you blew it, and then the only reason he didn't hit that kick was because of how fucking cold it was. And I
Yeah.
know that ball was very hard to kick in that cold weather, but I'm telling you what, the reaction I wish every Eagle fan could have seen that night whenever he made that call to do that on fourth down.
Yeah.
You could tell every Eagle fan in that stadium was like, if he blows this, we riot. Like
What do
it
you do
was,
after the Cowboys? What do you do to the Cowboys game? Same situation, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
you put your defense back on. All right. First of all, like you could have went for it twice. You telling
yep,
me that what it was a fourth and I think it was 4th and 3, right? 4 and 3, fourth and third, 4th and 3, right? Or 4th and
yep,
2, right? You couldn't tell me that you couldn't run an offense back on that field and get that first down, convert because you had the lead.
yeah.
But what did you want to do? You wanted to punt the ball back to a defense that's already been on the field because your offense previously couldn't score more points because the only thing they could have scored was 21 points. And that was it. And he wanted to punt the ball. Like Nick Sirianni, one thing we give him credit for was his time management. He had great time management. And he's lost that. His time management skills. I mean, I think he had another situation with the Bears game, right? Why not go for it? He wanted to kick the field goal, miss it, but it's like, and then, or he wanted to punt the ball. Like he punted the ball and then he kicked the field goal. Jake
Well, and
Elliott,
that's the other thing that frustrates me too. You sit here and you don't utilize Jake Elliott. You don't utilize him. You don't utilize him. You go for it on fourth. Go for it
and
on
you want to
fourth.
trot
And
him
then
out for
whenever you
fourth,
ask
yeah.
him to go out and kick a big fucking time field goal and he misses, you wonder why he misses because you haven't used him all fucking season.
No.
You got to use a kicker like you got to use a wide receiver, like you got to use a fucking quarterback. If you never use them and they don't get into a rhythm, they're always going to be cold. That's why AJ, whenever you don't throw the ball to him the first two quarters, in the third quarter, he drops passes over and over because you never got him going. The dude's cold now. He's not warmed up anymore. There's no rhythm between quarterback and coach. Well, that's the same thing with kicking a football, bro. If you don't use him for 3 games straight and then you finally throw him out there, the dude's a motherfucker's cold. He's just like, okay, well, I know my job and I can kick it, but you got to keep putting your kicker in that situation. That clutch situation. You know what I'm saying, man? So you wonder why your kicker missed that field goal the other week. Because you never use him. You got to use your kicker if you want him to stay consistent, bro.
Well, I'll give you another point, right? Remember the Lions game, right? Dan Campbell went for on fourth down.
Yeah.
What does this coach do? Let's go for on fourth down 2 times. One of them wasn't even near the first down. But it's like he has no problem going for a fourth down against Dan Campbell, but you couldn't go for it against the Dallas Cowboys defense that you were literally ripping apart. Jalen Hurts literally was cooking them. And you need this conversion because first of all, your defense wasn't going to be able to hold on too much. And I kept on saying to a lot of Eagle fans, but they were telling me I was negative, was your defense is not going to be able, because they thought our defense could carry them to the Super Bowl, right? Oh, our defense could carry us to the Super Bowl. Defense win championships, right? And I kept on saying this is not the era where defense win you championships. Your offense has to score somewhat points. It's not the 2000 Ravens where you can
Well.
win.
Let's be clear here. Defenses can win you championships as long as we could put up at least 21 points a game. Because I know my defense can at least hold you to 10 points, even 17 points, as long as my offense could put up 21. But here's the thing. You can't do that on a consistent basis, first of all. And secondly, in the second half, when you are up 21-7, you consistently still throw the football. You don't run the ball to kill the clock, to keep you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to let your defense rest. You got to kill some time on the clock. Every time you throw the ball, and every time you throw the ball and it's an incomplete pass, what happens? The clock stops, which gives them more fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad clock management. It's bad everything, dude. And I'm fucking tired of it. And the fact that Nick's been here 6 years and still hasn't figured the shit out, I'm
Yeah.
good, dog. He
Well,
ain't
no,
gonna
he
figure
figured out
it out.
something. He figured out something. He figured out how to do more celebrations on the sidelines and yell fans.
Yeah. No, I'm good, man. I'm tired of just beating my head around the same fucking bush, man. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm ready for a change. My team is too good to be this bad. And instead of continuing this shitty thing over and over and then getting the chance of losing AJ because he just gets tired of it, and then losing fucking Jalen Hurts and he wants out because he's tired of the coaching and all the bullshit. I'd rather just get rid of my coaches, keep my team, and just continue to build. You know what I mean?
Everybody talk about AJ, but I'm thinking Devontae Smith is going to get tired of it too, because
Oh
I
yeah, dude,
told
they all will eventually.
yeah,
You don't think Carter will get tired of it? You don't think that fucking well, Phillips probably won't be here, but even if he would, he
I would
will.
sign him
You
back,
don't
bro.
think
I
Nolan
love
Smith will?
Phillips,
You
man.
don't think Quinyon Mitchell will get tired of this shit
Oh,
and want
absolutely.
out? Like,
Mhm. Yeah. It's bad because like this, even with the offensive pieces not being fully, what it was last year, you
okay,
have talent to win a Super Bowl, man. Like any coach staff would love to have this offense, man. I mean, Ben Johnson. I keep going back to Ben Johnson. Imagine him with an AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. You don't think this guy would put up points? You don't think a Saquon Barkley? I mean, we're watching DeAndre Swift, a guy that we didn't even want to use right. Imagine him going to Chicago with an offense corner and look how good he is. And by the way, offense corner / head coach who could call plays. And he's looking like a legit running back there, man. So it's like,
yeah,
and it's like, dude, like it frustrates me because I feel like Saquon Barkley is starting to get deja vu from the Giants. Right, I got to make something happen. He's not seeing the holes right because he don't trust the offense. And I keep saying it. It don't matter if you have a quarterback, whoever the quarterback is. All right, we've seen offensive line being bad, and quarterbacks don't trust them. For example, Sam Darnold looked like a ghost in New York because of bad offense. Right, we've seen guys like I don't know Daniel Jones with the Giants, the bad
Baker
offense.
Mayfield.
If you have guys who can't block and your quarterback's hearing footsteps, which I think Jalen Hurts is hearing footsteps because he's quick to try to get rid of it, or he's not seeing the field, or he's trying to run to his right to make a play, and guys are not getting open. I mean, these routes are terrible, man. Like last week, you were able to get AJ Brown involved, but you weren't able to get Devontae Smith involved. How many yards does Devontae have this year? He was on a tear for the last 3 weeks. We can't even get him involved. You know what I'm saying? Jahan Doxson's just like a decoy at this point. I mean, what
Yeah.
was the point of honestly keeping him? You're better off trading in the trade deadline because all you need is two receivers in Kevin Batulo's, Nick Sirianni's offense, you know? And it's like, it makes me mad because there's so much talent that you're wasting. You have a chance to
Well,
go back to it. So there's nobody in this conference that I'm scared of, but I'm scared of the coaching. I'm not scared of these players or the teams. I'm scared of our coaching because I know if our coaching can figure this out, there's nobody that beating us. We beat the Rams already. We can definitely
yeah,
beat the Bears. If we play them
of
again, we have a
course.
better offense with better coach staff. We beat the Bears. Hell, we beat them probably on Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know how to make the adjustments. We got coaching that are just bad. And you got Nick talking about detail, toughness, together, whatever it is. It's the same thing over and over again. We got to get better. We're going to get
I'm going back.
this fixed. He's supposed to get more involved in the offense. Well, Nick, first of all, why is our coach who can't call plays getting involved in the offense coordinator? You know, because he wants to make Kevin Batula the scapegoat, and that's all I think. All I can think of is KP
Yeah.
is not calling plays. It's Nick's offense. You know, because that's why we're hearing rumors that he's a coaching candidate. You know, why is KP a coach candidate? Same why JG was a coaching candidate. Same why Ryan Johnson got another job. You know, same why Shane Steichen got another job, and because they know Nick is the problem, and everybody that's leaving is getting coaching jobs, and they look better. You know, and I'm tired of a puppet as our coach, man. And I understand
Well,
Jeff Lurie has learned from the Chip Kelly era. I get it, but you need to go and get an offensive mind because your quarterback is already losing faith. And once your quarterback loses faith, I mean, he needs an offense coordinator more than 2 years, and that's another thing. We don't have an offense coordinator more than 2 years. We don't bring anybody other than these young guys, and they leave right away. And Jalen Hurts is going to be on his fifth coach. If we get a new coach, man, I just need a guy who can call plays. Because if you have a guy who can call plays as the head coach, you don't need to worry about offense coordinators leaving every year. You don't need to worry about guys walking out the door like Kellen Moore and stuff. You already have a guy who can call plays. You don't need to worry about that anymore. But we don't have that, man.
Well, listen, man. I do got to get going here,
Yeah,
but because
I
I got my
any
my
final
daughter
thoughts?
I got to put in. But I will say this: the one thing that people need to realize is we can lose these players if things get out of hand and these coaches push them out. Because here's the thing: these guys got their money already.
Yeah.
Jalen got his money when we signed, his guaranteed money. So did AJ, so did Smitty, so did Saquon. Now, granted, I understand there is some no trade clauses in some of these, but that's only if they don't want that. At any moment, these guys can go and lift that clause and be like, I want out because this is just bullshit and I'm tired of being here.
Yeah.
So don't ever think that they can't go anywhere. They can always go somewhere if they want. And I don't want that. But these coaches are pushing that point and that envelope. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose AJ. I don't want to lose Jalen. I don't want to lose Saquon. But the fact is, if they feel for 1 minute that they're not welcome here, that they are not, that they're not cherished enough and they're not wanted, they will go somewhere where they're wanted. We've seen it by many players, man. So, just cherish it, but just know there will be some big changes this offseason. I promise you.
Man,
Now,
gets fired, man.
Yeah, I don't see how it ends. And I'll tell you this right now: if in my opinion, when we lose tomorrow, that'll be the beginning. And once the Raider game happens, I wouldn't be surprised if Nick's not here. And by the way, the Raiders didn't look too shabby today. Yeah, they lost, but they at least offensively and defensively they look good. Offensively, I'll even say they have a little bit better identity than what we do.
I mean, of course, they got rid of Chip Kelly.
Yeah, so we got to be careful, man. This could get ugly fast, very fast.
It definitely can, but I hope it don't because,
I hope it don't either.
Because, it would be a waste, honestly, because, okay, if you lose and you collapse another season, first of all, I'm sorry, but Jeffrey Lurie, I'm afraid that he's going to go hire another Nick because we know Jeffrey Lurie. We know that he's he hires guys like yes men all the time. He's going to hire guys that don't have any control. Who's going to come in there that's not going to want control? Nobody.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing, though. I think this Nick Sirianni experiment was a lesson that they learned from too, and it will be a reason why they don't go down this road again. Because I don't think Howie Roseman wants to sit here and be responsible each and every year for hiring coordinators for a head coach. You know what I'm saying? So I don't sit here and just get too negative about that one because, like I said, Howie usually corrects his mistakes and he doesn't make the same mistake twice. I don't think he'll do that. I'm pretty sure the very first question he'll ask in the interviews is, do you call your own plays? Okay, we can continue. That's just that should be how it is.
So before you go, I know they're probably not going to do it, but what are your keys and how to beat the Chargers tomorrow? A little positivity before the fans, we think of negativity.
Dude, you got to get the run game going to get the pass game going. So whether that's using Tank, AJ Dillon, or Saquon, or all three of them, or two of them, I don't give a fuck. Just figure it out.
Four of them.
And two, you just got to you got to come up with some consistency tomorrow, dude. And I'm talking all 4 quarters consistent, not just the first 2 and fall off the first 2 and come back the next 2. No, I want to see 4 quarters. It don't have to be dominant. Just give me something, man. Show me some fucking heart, some life, something that shows you want to fucking be there. You know what I mean? you're not playing for you anymore. You're playing for us, dude. People that spend their hard-earned money for this fucking team, and we travel everywhere to see them. You know, like this is a life to us. So, fuck if you don't care about the coach, man. Play for us. Like play for us. Fuck them at this point. You know.
I think you got to stop the running game, man, because they're going to run the football. You know,
Oh yeah, they're going to. Considering Carter's not playing, no,
and Ty Robinson. I mean, we're good to see what he is, man. I know
Nolan Smith needs to get the fuck out of bed and wake up already and start fucking playing football. He's really pissing me off, Nolan. And Hunt, dude, Hunt's been playing really good. Hunt, you know, the 2 interceptions he's had this year. Hunt's shown a lot more than what Nolan Smith has, and that's pretty fucking depressing to me.
Yeah.
So I want Nolan to wake up too, bro. We need him.
I think we're going to see a lot more Jahad Campbell, man, because I think without Jalen Carter, you have to do something. You know,
well, no, I want to see Ty Robinson, dog. I hope Ty is everything that everyone said he was in the offseason, that this kid is a disruptor, that he is a good pass rusher, a good run stopper. Like, I hope he is exactly what everyone says he is, because we're going to need him.
Yeah. I mean, we have to be able to stop the run. I think that Nick is going to – I mean, I don't know what he has to do. Maybe he needs to pull the bunny magic somehow out of his offense and figure this out. Maybe he needs to hop into the playbook. He needs to do something. Maybe the bunny will call plays. I don't know, man. Like, we know what the Eagles need to do, but they're not going to do it. And we can go through film. We can go – and you and I could sit here every week, and we could talk about this game plan and talk about we got to stop the run. We can make thousands of videos, live streams, talk about they need to do better at this and you know, they need to do this, but they're not going to do it. And I think that you got to be able to stop the run, which we struggled last week. I mean, we got absolutely pants by 2 running backs. One was a 4th rounder, I believe, and the other one was DeAndre Swift. And Ben Johnson was running circles over both our coaches. And I think now you have another issue where, you know, who's the coach for the Chargers? A guy that's an offensive mind, an offensive coordinator for the Chargers, pretty good offensive coordinator. And their defense
is really good, man. And see, that's the thing too, is Harbaugh's players believe in him. Yeah. They believe in what he's doing. You can tell. You know, do not sleep on this Chargers team, bro. Their defense is really fucking good. Their offense might not be as powerful as the Cowboys. You know, it might not be as good as some of these other ones that we've taken on, like the Packers and Lions. But the Chargers, do not sleep on them. They can move the football, dude. Mm-hmm. They can really move. And Ladd McConkey is a really good wide receiver. Absolutely. Whether people don't want to believe it or not, Ladd can ball, dude.
Who's the other receiver they have over there? What's his name?
Keenan Allen. But he's old as fuck
too. There's another guy they have over there that's balling out the 1st round pick, I believe they drafted, right? Or the 2nd round that they drafted this year. I mean, they got weapons around them. I mean, they have a good defense and
they got Farrow as tight end, dude, who's 6'8". He's 6'8", dude. That's like having Kyle Pitts out there. So I hope my linebackers and shit are ready to cover a very tall tight end, dude, because it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be.
And you got a quarterback that can sling too. You got a quarterback.
Oh, dude, Herbert is amazing, dude. He really is. Herbert has the unfortunate events of falling into Drew Brees' shadow and still, you know, I think they're starting to come out of the funk, but his first 4 or 5 years was really melted by his head coach. He didn't have a really good head coach the first. So hopefully Harbaugh can turn them around here, but they look good. They look good.
It's going to be a challenge, man, and I'm hoping this team bounce back. I really am.
We'll see.
We'll see, man. But I appreciate you for coming. If you're not, subscribe to AK Eagle, man. He does a really good job with his podcasts, and he does a really good job with covering his Eagles team, man. And we're going to find out tomorrow because, like I said, if we lose again, man, I'm going to be the biggest monster. It ain't going to be Monster Inc. It's going to be me. I'm the biggest monster already. Trust me, I make everybody's life a living hell, even at home. Okay? If we lose tomorrow, I promise you, my mom might be kicking me out tomorrow. That's a fact. Now, I'm dead serious.
Eagles fan. Like, listen, dog, I respect you, and
I might be at your house, AK, living, say, hey, can I get a place to stay? Because, you know, I'm just saying, man, all jokes, like, I'm gonna be mad because like I'm gonna be the biggest monster, because like you gotta find a way.
And listen, Eagles fan, I know you, and listen, I respect your opinion about Herbert and
Justin
stuff, but
Herbert's overrated.
I will tell you
Great
this right
playoffs,
now,
good
bro.
quarterback.
Dude is not overrated. He is the first quarterback in NFL history to hit 150 touchdowns faster than anyone. I mean, that's Andrew Luck, that's Peyton Manning, that's Tom Brady, that's Steve Young, that's Joe Montana, Marino, the first person to do it faster than anyone. If you're going to tell me that's
overrated in the
overrated,
playoffs.
yeah. Well, listen, yeah, but look at his teams he's had, dude. Like,
Well,
seriously, you
right.
expect
You
him
know,
to win a
he had
Super
top
Bowl
five
with
defense.
any of the teams that he's had?
Yeah.
Any of them? Come on, man.
He had a good
The
defense
teams
last year.
haven't been that good. But the fact that the kid has hit over 150 touchdowns
Mhm.
passing in this short amount of time, with who? He hasn't had anyone to throw to. Ladd
Yeah.
McConkey is a rookie.
Mhm.
Fucking Keenan Allen was washed when he got there.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's doing it with no one. Imagine if Justin actually had, dude, you put Justin Herbert on the Eagles, we're probably almost undefeated. I'm
They're
just
not gonna
telling you.
No,
Well, he's
stop.
never had,
Stop.
bro, he's never had weapons like we have over here. Are you serious
What?
right now?
He don't need
Imagine,
weapons. He's a number one pick.
huh? Oh,
Justin
bullshit.
Herbert,
Bullshit, dude. Everyone needs weapons, dog.
Justin Herbert
Come
threw
on.
4 interceptions last time.
Everybody needs weapons, bro.
He's going to.
It is proven. Everyone. If you sit here and say because you're a first, dude, Pat Mahomes has proven you need fucking weapons. Pat Mahomes
he
is
won
a
a Super Bowl
great
without
fucking
weapons.
quarterback. He needs weapons. Everyone needs weapons. Jalen Hurts needs weapons. That was proven from his fucking first year fully starting when we went 9-7, and then look at him since we got AJ. Everyone
But I'll
needs
say this, right? If you put him on the Eagles, he ain't doing shit with KP and Nixon Honey. He's not. He's not. I think you would have the same problems. I think
What's
he
that?
has an offensive mind head coach. I think Harbaugh is a good offensive mind head coach. Okay, he ain't doing nothing with Puppet Man and Puppet 2, aka the frat boys. Okay, he is an offensive mind head coach, and I also think they're running the ball more. Remember, they made him throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's how every quarterback. And crazy because you say if he goes to Philadelphia, well, if he goes to Philadelphia and he needs all these weapons, then it just shows me okay, then we can't really say Jalen Hurts ain't better than Jalen because he needs the same weapons as Jalen Hurts. Then my thing with Justin Herbert is this. My thing. I know he has an arm. Okay, I know he's a great talent. My problem is when he gets to the playoffs, what is he going to be? You know what I'm saying?
I understand it once again, and I know he threw 4 interceptions last year.
Mhm.
Once again,
He got
first
screwed
year head coach, and secondly, who's he throwing to? Dude, you're acting like
Now-
you're acting like the kid has a really good team like the fucking like Seattle has or
He had a
the
good defense
Rams
last year.
have or something. His team is not that good. He's working with just okay mediocre offensive people. Even his O line
defense
isn't
last
that great. His O line is just decent. That's what I'm saying, bro. I understand he threw 4 interceptions, but the kid is also a gunslinger like Farr and some of these other guys where they will push that window. They will push a certain tiny window that most quarterbacks won't. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the thing is, exactly, they have the really good secondary.
And
This
if he
year,
don't win the playoff game, it's going to fall on him, and that's my issue.
exactly. No, exactly. If he does
He
not
should have
win
won last year.
if he
too bad
yeah, but
football.
dude, they didn't have the second best secondary in the NFL last year. This is all this year. You're right. If he
He had a
comes
good
out
defense
this
last
year
year.
and Justin Herbert
His
falls,
defense was good last year. Hold up, AK. He had a good defense
What?
last year. His defense was good enough to get. They were able to shut down Houston. He threw 4 interceptions that were buys.
Mhm.
He lost them that game. The Houston Texans had nothing around him. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about CJ Stroud? He had nothing around him last year either.
Yeah, but see, you can't sit there and tell me that defense is good then whenever CJ Stroud ain't got shit around him and they can't even stop him. I'm sorry, that's not a good defense. That's not. That's like sitting here saying that, oh, Dallas sucks, but yet we let fucking CD or we let George Pickens put 200 yards on us in 2 fucking quarters. You know what I'm saying? I never sat here and said that Justin Herbert is elite. I said the fucking kid is good. Okay,
No, I
he's
know what
really
you're saying.
fucking good.
I think he's a good
And the
quarterback.
city, because I'll tell you right now, I would take Justin Herbert over half of the quarterbacks in this NFL. And that includes fucking Sam Darnold right now. That includes fucking Baker Mayfield right now.
Yeah,
Okay. And I'm being honest with you. Josh Allen is a very, or fucking, you have, I'm reading your Josh Allen down here and I said it. Herbert is a really good fucking quarterback. You put him on a few other teams, I guarantee you this kid is winning.
well,
We'll see
I'll say
we
this
will
about
see what he does this year. If he comes out and falls flat on his face in the playoffs after having a good season like they had this year, hey, then we might have something here. But
what's the name? SC 2.25. I mean, you change your name so many times.
yeah, Josh Allen is not Justin Herbert.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is the best fucking quarterback in the NFL. I never said Herbert was the best.
He is.
He is.
It's him.
That's pears and oranges, dog. You cannot compare Josh Allen to anyone right now. Not even Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts or Pat Mahomes. Josh Allen is on another level, dude.
I don't think he's that great, man. Lamar.
No, but I'm saying Josh Allen's on a whole nother level compared to everyone else. Right
you
now.
put him in Baltimore and you see what this guy could do. I'm telling you right now.
Dude, I would love to see Josh Allen with this offense that we have with Saquon, AJ, and Smitty. I don't know if the kid would ever lose. I don't think Josh would ever lose with our offense. And I'm not saying with KP running, and I'm just saying our offensive line with Josh Allen.
I would love to see what Jalen Hurts would do with Joe Brady right now. I mean, he would have an offensive mind head coach and probably would have a better head coach than Nick.
No, I get it. But here's the thing, though. Josh Allen's doing it with nobody at wide receiver. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody.
I mean, Dalton Knox is pretty reliable. He's a good tight end. The wide receiver they drafted, all right.
Yeah, no, I mean he's not bottom. He's not bottom. Under fit. He's definitely top 12, but he's not. He's not like the top 5.
Who?
Dotson. Yeah, Dots. He's not. He's not.
He's a good tight end.
He's a good tight end, yes. But I'm just saying though. But Josh Allen, he doesn't have wide receivers, dude. Mm-hmm. And the only weapon he has is Cook, and Cook is a fucking monster, dog.
Oh, Cook he fumbled twice today, man.
I know, but the boy can run.
Mm-hmm.
The boy can run.
Hey, last year he was helping Josh Allen a lot, man. Same with Joe Burrow. I mean, you look at them. I mean, here is a stat. I mean, he should be able to win with that offense, man.
Yes, SE. I get what you're saying, bro.
Josh Allen didn't make it. Yeah, but I also think that Josh Allen has. He has Sean McDermott, man. Sean McDermott should be fired, bro. If he's not fired after this year, if they lose another comp, he should be fired. Because how many times? And
once again, you cannot compare Josh Allen to Justin Herbert, bro. They're two totally freakish different human beings, man.
Way better.
Yeah, that's like trying to compare Josh Allen to I can't even. Don't want to like go that far and say Baker Mayfield, but you know what I'm saying? Like you just can't do it. Josh Allen is on a different stratosphere right now from everyone. Now you want to put Justin Herbert up against Joe Burrow? We'll do that. You want to put Justin Herbert up against, Sam Darnold, we'll do that, or even Pat or Lamar Jackson, but we're not touching Josh Allen, dog. That's
Josh Allen is legit, man. Sorry, my cat's in the back.
Yeah. No, you're fine. He's legit. But I do have to get going.
Yeah, I got to get going, man, because my cat's going to start screaming, and I don't want to interrupt. It is what it is. I might be the one screaming tomorrow on Monday night. I'll tell you, I'm gonna be
like I said, man, I respect your opinion there, SE.
No, I get you.
No hate, but I think a little more highly about Justin Herbert than most people. He's not a bad quarterback, bro.
Until you put him on KP's offense, and you'll see how bad he is.
Well, then he might be, but yeah.
Because they have an offensive coordinator. I mean, they have a head coach, and we love quarterbacks who are winning right now. And I just want to see what Jalen would do with an offensive mind. That's all I want. If it don't work,
we know what he can do. He can win a Super Bowl. You saw it last year.
Mm-hmm. And he plays really good football when he has an offensive mind. Imagine if he had an offensive coordinator, like an offensive mind head coach, like a Ben Johnson calling his plays every time. And they were creative. I mean, the creativity on Ben Johnson is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I would love to have a guy like that. And we got a dope. But it is what it
Well,
is, man.
just know if we end up firing him, we got a couple teams to compete with. Now, granted, our team is way better than those teams, so it shouldn't be hard to grab a Joe Brady or any of these guys compared to like, being a Giant head coach or, being, any of these other like the Raiders or something. I'm sure we could easily grab them
The
over
most
those
attractive
guys.
place. Who would not
Huh?
want to go to Philadelphia with this talent? I mean, we would get
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But other than that, I just there's a
yeah,
lot of teams going to be.
people disagree regardless. And yeah, I agree. I
No,
mean,
dude, that's why I said I respect your opinion and all. I just see Justin Herbert a little differently than you. He might
and that's
prove me
why.
wrong, or he might prove you wrong. But in
Oh,
the
he's gonna
end,
have 500 yards tomorrow because
he's
Adore Jackson be playing.
he's only gonna prove. He's only got to prove to himself.
Yeah,
He don't get
he's gonna target Adore Jackson. I already know Adore Jackson's gonna get turned around like crazy tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't see how. I mean, I pity Quinyon Mitchell, man, honestly, because he's literally on an island on his own. He has
Yeah,
no help on the other side. So,
we got two legit corners on and last name because I know you have to go. We
yeah,
got
Cooper DeJean. Yeah,
and that's it. And we got a sorry corner who gets turned like he. I'm sorry, he stinks, man. Why did we bring in Adore Jackson again? He's been cut for 4 different teams. The Giants cut him, and it's like, I was
does
all
it
for
really matter though? I
yeah.
mean,
No, not really.
because
Maybe
if it wasn't him, it was Keely. If it wasn't him, it was going to be Keely, and they're kind of the same. So it
But is Jacory Bennett not good enough, or is he just hurt all the time?
obviously not if he's not playing, dude. That
He's gonna
listen,
have
this
to
is
help you
this
scratch.
is the way that I look at it. If AJ Dillon isn't playing, they either
AJ Dillon?
they're stupid or yeah, AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
Either they're stupid and they're not using extra guys the way they should, or he just doesn't match to what they're doing, or it's just not there. The way I look at it is, Bennett. If Bennett was even better than Jackson, I would pray to God Vic would put him out there. I would assume Vic would. You know what I mean? But obviously, he's not showing him what he needs to show him during the week to be out there on Sundays and Mondays. So I honestly don't know what the fuck's going on. I wish I had the answers too,
Yeah.
but
And Marcus Epps gonna be playing tomorrow too. It's gonna be the first time Marcus Epps is on the field. All right, yeah, Marcus Epps. I mean, he's been injury prone too. I expect Justin.
no, and I can agree with that one there, SC. He's not elite, but he's a damn good quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. My problem is
Yeah.
when people put him like when they say, for example, well, if you put Justin Herbert on, it's like I don't do wits, right? At the end of the day, Jalen Hurts deserves to have weapons, and I think people say, well, Jalen Hurts, if any quarterback could play in the system, well, I don't think anybody could play in the system because I think Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts are 2 separate quarterbacks. They play 2 different styles. You have to change up a system for Justin Herbert to succeed. I don't think Jalen Hurts can go to Buffalo and play the same style as Josh Allen because I think they're 2 separate different quarterbacks. You have to make sure your quarterback is comfortable with the system he's good at. I don't think, it's that's my problem with. I think that all these other quarterbacks are different for different reasons. Jalen Hurts is great when he wins. He's a winner. He's a guy that when you need a big play, I trust him over Justin Herbert. If I need a big play to win a game and a game is on the line, I'm taking Jalen Hurts. I'm taking Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen. Those are the 2. Or Patrick Mahomes. Those are the 3. I'm not taking Justin Herbert. But if I need a big arm quarterback and, if I'm one of the guys that start a roster, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking a guy like Justin. Obviously, Justin Herbert would be a guy I look at, because of his big body, arm frame, his just the way he throws the football. I mean, he can throw the football. But if I'm talking about championship,
let me ask you guys this before I go, because now I'm interested, and even SE, I want your answer. Who's better, Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, Justin Herbert. Trevor Lawrence stinks.
Okay.
Who do you think is better?
Fucking Herbert by far, obviously.
You never know.
At least in my opinion, of course. But you know what? Most people would put them on the same playing field.
Well, I mean, because Trevor Lawrence did beat Justin Herbert.
I understand that, but if you look at them and how they both play, by far Justin Herbert's better than him.
Trevor Lawrence stinks.
Yeah,
I don't think he stinks.
Lawrence
I just think he's average.
No, he stinks. You can say it.
You think he stinks?
Yeah. Because dude, he's had 3 head coaches and not one could get him right. I mean, unless you're just telling me that you've just had 3 shitty head coaches, and Doug Peterson is not a shitty head coach. If Doug Peterson couldn't make Trevor Lawrence look at least decent, he's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. He won a Super Bowl with a fucking backup in Nick Foles. You can't make Trevor Lawrence work. He made Carson Wentz look good in his second season. You can't make Trevor Lawrence look good? No, dog.
He made Jalen Hurts in 2021 look good too.
Yeah, for 4 games. So that's what I'm saying, man. If he couldn't make Trevor work, then I don't think anyone is. Trevor's just
he was all about because he was in Clemson. He had nobody, and that's the thing is like these other quarterbacks like Tua and Trevor Lawrence, they have no competition around him, so they never feared of getting their job taken away. You know, where Jalen Hurts had to learn under being benched and all that stuff like that, and.
And I always ask the question: Trevor Lawrence only lost 2 games in college while he was in Clemson. He only lost 2.
He had the best receiving core in probably football.
So my whole question for him was: can the dude go to Jacksonville, lose 9 games, and still be that guy? Well, it is obvious that once he started losing, there's no rebound with him, at least so far from what I see.
And he has weapons too. They drafted a guy who could play both receiver and corner. Now he's hurt, but they got weapons. I mean, they have so much weapons around him. They
went and got him Etienne, who was his teammate at Clemson.
They got the best defensive player in. They have a really good defense in secondary. You know, they really they have an offensive mind head coach. I mean, you know, he just like. Did you see when his coach was trying to tell him to put it on the ball? He's like that's a guy that I don't want as my quarterback. I'm sorry. When you do that, you should be on the bench. You know, if you're going to swipe away the coach from trying to help you out, then, bro, you just playing bad on purpose. You know, and I'm sorry, but I would have, if I was the Jaguars, I would have kept the guy that they traded for. What's his name? Mac Jones. I would have kept him on the roster. You know, and let him go to San Francisco because you see how he's doing until Brock Purdy came back. But you saw how good he was. You know. I'm sorry, but Trevor Lawrence to me is overrated. I never liked him coming. Remember, Eagle fans wanted to draft him. You know,
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't want him.
You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for coming on, AK. Tell them where to find you. And you know.
Oh yeah, man, no doubt. AK from the Eagles Uncensored podcast, also the proud founder of the Hardcore Sports Network. So go check us out over there. And yeah, man, appreciate you so much. You know, I go live on Fridays with my boy Foothills and do the East Meets West, and you know, I'll probably stream a little bit more. But yeah, man, I'm just starting out again.
You're gonna have enough time to stream. You're gonna have therapy hours soon.
Yeah, no shit.
Therapy hours. It's gonna be fun.
Gonna definitely have to.
Oh man, but I appreciate you for coming on, man. As always, flag was fly, y'all, man, and hope we get this W, man. Hope we get this
W. Sir. No, I hope we do too. But you know,
yeah,
don't know. We'll see.
All right, man. Appreciate you all for coming on. Appreciate you, AK.
Yes, sir.